Good morning and welcome back to Bob's Random Builds. Today's video is going to be more of an experiment for me, which is going to be trying to melt down some aluminium cans because I need some molten aluminium to make an aluminium cylinder which is going to be used as a heat reservoir. So hopefully the thing inside of it is not going to cool too fast so it can heat up to temperature quicker with the residual heat in the aluminium block. So what I'm going to be doing is, I've got my old forge and I'm going to make this old soup can into a crucible, and with that we're going to melt down the aluminium cans in there to hopefully create some molten aluminium. Should work because the steel has a melting point of 1425 degrees C roughly, and the aluminium should melt at 660 degrees C. So here we go. So the first job I'm going to be doing is trying to make this into a little crucible so it can be lifted in and out of the forge. So after thinking about making this into a crucible, what I'm going to do, trial and error really, I'm going to put a hole in each side of the can and put a screw from the inside to the outside. So it will be like this. See, there's a screw on each side, and that will sit in the forge. The next part of the job is I'm going to put a hole through the outside of the can as well, which I'm going to make this steel rod into a hook so I can drop it in and I can hook it out without burning myself, and hopefully this will be long enough so the heat won't transfer up it too much. With a screw out of each side so it should sit nicely in the forge where that's where the flame will come out, so it'll heat the bottom of the can up nicely where the bottom of the aluminium is going to be. Right, the screw idea didn't work because the screw, when it sits into the hole not that much, so the can, which is basically a perfect fit in the soup tin, won't fit in with the screws. I've even gone while they did the soup tin on the vise to press down all the little lip. Still won't work. So my next idea is bend this 90 degrees with a nice little corner and then flatten the end of the bar when it's on the 90 degrees so it'll sit flush against the tin, and then put it through and cut that bit off long enough so it's going to be a nicer fit, and then pull it through the soup can from the other way. So for that I need to go forge it up so I can give it a good bend. I'll do one on each end so it's just 2 cuts, job done. There's my 90 degree bend in the bits of metal, so when it sits in the forge it sits quite flush to the edges, so that means the can should still nicely inside. The next job is take the end of my steel bar again, taper it out into a bit of a point and then curl it round into a hook, which you can hook through the hole in the edge of the can that I've made. Right, that's the hook forged in, which is for that little hole there. So when it's in the furnace, hook it out, pick it up. It can even work as a bit of a pourer. So now we'll wait for the forge to cool down a little bit so I can upend it into the dirt in the garden. Then we'll light it again and see if we can melt a few tin cans. To give it its best chance of working, we'll put a tin can in as we light it. Well, it worked for the most part, but I think the can got a hole in because I should have a mold. I've got a load of molten aluminium down there. So it's a work in progress. There we are. That's the problem. When it's cooled, that bit of the tin has just disintegrated. But it did work, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to try and get the aluminium out what I've got and see what it looks like. Right, so after all that, I was wrong. The tin didn't have a hole in when it was melting down. There's just that much slag on top of it with all the paint off the cans and everything, and there's not that much aluminium in a can anyway. I thought it was a bit of a failure. It was a bit of a 50-50. It melted the aluminium, so the crucible held up. It only disintegrated when it went in the water. One thing I might do though is I might try and upgrade the crucible to a small milk pan or something. So happy days, we've had a success. Well, if you're seeing this part of the video, you've got to the end, so I'm taking it you enjoyed my journey with this experiment. So if you did, drop me a like, a comment and hit the subscribe button.